Hello and welcome to coverage of Grand Prix Vancouver. I'm Marshall Sutcliffe in the booth with Randy Buehler, and we are underway. Two 10-1 players. Ryan Benrose on the left-hand side. He's actually playing blue-white control. I see that he's got a Temple of Silence, but that's just for the scry effects. Yeah. And Travis Boese on the right-hand side is playing green devotion. You'll see a few mountains in there too for a few select planeswalkers and such, but most of his cards are going to have at least one green, if not multiple green mana symbols on them so that he can abuse cards like Nykthos. He has a Sylvan Caryatid to start things out, so a good start for him. Though
it's on the slow side, honestly.
And being on the
there's no Elvish Mystic.
No Elvish Mystic. Being on the draw though means that Ryan Benrose has his full counter suite available here, so Travis has to already be keenly aware of whatever he's going to cast here could easily get countered. All right, and it's a Voyaging Satyr, so not an exciting turn 3 or turn 2 here for him. He's also missed his land drop, and I think we're going to see a Supreme Verdict. No, we're not.
He missed his land drop on purpose. He's holding a Stomping Ground. I didn't miss that, did I? Isn't the card in the front of his hand Stomping Ground? He just chose not to play a land on turn 3.
That's weird.
Yes. So Benrose plays a Jace, takes the 2 cards. Benrose's blue-white control deck is kind of different from the sort of Cuneo Jensen version that's been running around, that's gotten a lot of hype. He's running a couple of Thasses. He's running, you know, Jaces, a couple of Elspeths. But
couple of Thasses, huh?
Yeah, the only way to turn them on is with either all 4 Detention Spheres or 2 Detention Spheres and a Jace. Those are his only permanents.
So he's really just running it for the scry ability? I
Basically.
mean, is he running creatures? Like, is he giving things unblockable? These decks generally don't, or if they do, they run Aetherling, which kind of has that already.
Yes, the only creatures in his deck are the tokens created by Elspeth.
Unbelievable.
So no creatures.
Wow, I'm surprised by that. I did not think Thassa would be worth that. But
just for her scry?
Yeah, I mean, but I'm wrong.
Well, if you think about it, though, like the blue-white deck is going to play a long game. I actually think 2 Detention Spheres and a Jace is going to happen.
Look, the game plan is to draw your whole deck a lot of times with this. Is he running?
He has 1 Elixir of Immortality.
Okay, yeah. So he's
2 Divinations. Essentially, where most people would have 4 Divinations, he has 2 Divinations and 2 Thasses.
Okay.
Supreme Verdict wipes away a couple mana critters.
Now, Travis did play that Stomping Ground, though.
Yeah. No, this is definitely a slow start for him. No Nykthos fueled shenanigans. No. I mean, the Burning Tree Emissary start is always a little sketchy against the Supreme Verdict deck anyway. What do you think of the big green deck?
I think it's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. The things I really like about it are the fact that it has broken starts. I like decks that have broken starts where sometimes it's just like, whoops, looks like I won.
Burning Tree Emissary.
Yeah. And there's a Scavenging News as well off the Burning Tree Emissary. But I also love the fact that this deck really does have a really great late game. I mean, thanks to its Planeswalkers, it can get just as far ahead on cards as even Ryan Benrose's deck. All right, he says, is this an Elixir? Yep. Yeah. I'll put that in its own pile.
It's not the end of the world to just have the Elixir on the bottom, is it?
No, we saw that yesterday with Huey. He was like, okay, I'll put it on the bottom. I'll just draw that one last. You know, I know it's there.
Right, yeah, Ryan takes the Elixir.
Yeah, but I love the fact that Travis's deck can get back ahead thanks to Domri Raid and Big Garrick. I just think that's really cool.
Here's Detention Sphere for Scavenging Ooze.
And
you see Travis picking the cards up and holding them really close to his face. I believe he is legally blind.
He is. That's correct.
There's that elixir.
All right, elixir, land, and a go. All right, there's another land off the top for Travis. All right, he gets something going here with beatdowns with Burning Tree Emissary, but he's got to have a lot more than that. The door is open now, though.
I mean, I hear what you're saying about the late game, and he's got potential, and he's got planeswalkers, but getting in so little damage, coming out so slow is not really the plan against blue-white control.
It is not.
Like, I don't buy that he can keep up in the late game.
Yeah, so the way it's supposed to go is that you come out with some amount of pressure early that Ryan must answer. You force him to tap out a few times to counter something or to wrath, and then you clean up with the planeswalkers after that. Unfortunately, he's missing half of that equation, and now Ryan can just sit back and counter planeswalkers or relevant spells.
Thassa Divination land is the split on that Jace, and looks like Ryan's going to take the Divination and the land. See, that Thassa would have been 1 pip away, 1 Detention Sphere from turning on.
That's true.
I bet it turns on depressingly often from Ryan's opponent's perspective.
Jace does get a long way there.
I mean, you think about how the blue-white deck, there's always a Jace in play.
But I had to add it because it is. Yeah, it just where the cards go.
All right. He had tapped that forest after he played it and then accidentally putting it back in his hand, but they figured it out quickly and just put it back in a play tap. All right, and so Ryan did take Detention Sphere and the land.
Divination land, and in cast.
Excuse me, Divination land, thank you. And he's tapped out again.
Yeah.
I mean, I see multiple Garricks in hand for Travis, but he's just stuck on mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He needed to hit a land drop here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
To be able to just slam Garrick.
And Travis can kill the Jace here, right? Ryan played it, drew cards. So yeah, Burning Tree kills Jace. Voyaging Satyr gets in for 1.
All right, Domri Raid. So here's a reasonable one. See, we're starting to hit from 2 different angles here for Travis. He's going to draw a Pelucranos off of Domri.
It's not bad.
Yeah, so now, you know, Supreme Verdict doesn't get Ryan completely out of this mess. He's going to need a Detention Sphere and a Verdict down the line. I mean, let's see what he has here. All right, infinite Jaces.
He is digging, digging,
and
digging,
he reveals Land Azorius Charm. Pretty lands, too.
2 lands or a charm. You take the charm.
And he's going to play Supreme Verdict after the Jace to get rid of the 2 creatures and leave just Domri Raid up. Domri Raid's ultimate is very relevant against decks like Ryan's. Makes it incredibly difficult for Ryan to pull ahead. All right, there's an Arbor Colossus. Not the best against Ryan, but hey, it's a threat.
Hey, it's a hit.
Yeah, and there's Pelucranos. And we're going to see this, I think, is that Travis is going to just start casting stuff that must be dealt with at some point here.
Right.
All right. And minus Jace again reveals a Sphinx's Revelation and a couple of lands, Revelation in hand.
Yeah, Ryan does not hesitate to grab Sphinx's Revelation.
Not at all. Plays a Mutavault.
I mean, the most powerful, the deck's basic strategy is just stay alive, build up lands, stay alive, build up lands, and then those big Sphinx's Revelations deliver both life and extra cards.
That's right. Travis doesn't have any reasonable way to interact with Sphinx's Revelation, so once we get to this point in the game, you got to feel like Ryan's in a good position. Even though Travis has a full grip of cards, he's just been kind of stifled on mana thanks to the Supreme Verdicts from Ryan, who's cleaning out the mana creatures.
Right, it seems like the big Garricks are the best Planeswalker against blue-white. And he hasn't been able to cast one. It still hasn't gotten to 6 at any point in the game.
He is 3 for 3 on hitting Domri Raid. I wouldn't be surprised to see him just try to add something to the board here. He can't cast another Pelucranos. He just doesn't have anything else. All right, so it's 6 off of Sphinx's Revelation, puts him back up to 18 and refills his hand. And
yeah, Travis has to discard. He had 8 cards in his hand.
Yep. Yeah, missing all these land drops is really hurting Travis's chances here, especially since Ryan hasn't missed any. And he's got 100 cards in hand now.
Scryland pushed to the bottom. We are at the point where Domri's threatening.
He's getting there. Is that a
basically needs a
Cyclonic
detention
Rift in
sphere.
hand for
Oh,
Ryan?
jeez. He can also take pot shots with Mutavault to try to keep it in check.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, I think, figuring out what to discard.
Yeah. Lots of lands in an Azorius Charm is what he discarded, and he's just going to pass a turn back. No Mutavault hit there. He knows, I'm sure he's planning on rifting here. He does allow Domri Raid to get an extra plus activation in by doing that, though. And it's interesting. Travis has drawn a land for the turn. He sees another one on top of his library as well.
I mean, I think Ryan would rather rift end step so that he'll get anything Travis is going to play in his main phase.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he could just potentially gets another card in his hand, but that doesn't seem that relevant. You're right.
I mean, especially he's going to be rifting, so Travis is going to be discarding.
Right.
If he gets another draw, it's just an additional discard he'll have to make.
Right.
He knows Travis doesn't have any lands, so they're all spells.
All right, Rift with Overload. So that's Cyclonic Rift, a card that doesn't see that much play but pops up from time to time. And he's returning everything.
And Travis summoned the Arbor Colossus in his first main phase.
He did.
So
Yeah.
he did not get in that hit with Pelucranos.
No, which was a mistake.
Yeah. If Travis had attacked with Pelucranos, Ryan was basically waiting.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to hit whatever Travis spent his mana on this turn.
Yeah,
so.
unfortunately for Travis, he walked right into it. And Ryan got full value from his Cyclonic Rift. He also cracked his Elixir.
Right. It's one of the advantages of playing your own version of a list.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when's the last time you saw Cyclonic Rift out of the blue-white control
Right,
deck?
yeah, it just doesn't happen.
I think that is the first time I've seen the overloaded Cyclonic Rift out of the blue-white control deck.
Yeah, it's so hard for Travis to anticipate that.
Right. There's Thasses running around.
Yeah. It's a weird brew that Ryan has here. He's got some weird stuff. The Thasses in the deck are strange.
I don't know if it goes all the way toward brew. It's like, but
yeah, you're
like
probably
it's
right.
half a dozen cards off of the standard blue-whites.
Yeah.
But they're really important, interesting half a dozen cards.
That affect the way that your opponent has to play you or think about how you're going to play.
Yeah, I mean, the Cyclonic Rift is a 2 of.
Mm-hmm.
There's also 2 Syncopates, which is, I mean, some of the blue-whites have started experimenting with that card, but
right. So
not exactly typical.
Right, Elspeth Sun's champion for Ryan.
Finally, down comes Garrick.
Along with Jace.
Right, does resolve. Ryan spent 10 mana on a pair of Planeswalkers, so Travis gets to resolve Garrick. And draws
1. Oh no, there's a
Kylie
Burning Tree Emissary as well. Okay. So 2 cards off of Garrick. A little divination there. Though you got to figure he's discarding here, right? His draw step plus 2 extra cards. He's only played 1 from his hand.
Yeah.
He has multiple Garricks though in hand, so he can definitely discard one of those. He has 9 though.
Yeah.
And he's going to call it a game.
He recognizes the blue-white deck is firmly in control. Elspeth shuts down most of his explosive abilities. So
yeah, that game could have gone for multiple turns more. We went into this yesterday, though. Sometimes it is correct. I mean, generally speaking, you don't really ever want to concede. But when there's a clock on your match and the game could take potentially, you know,
I'm not
7
sure I buy
turns
that generally
longer.
You don't ever want to concede. If your winning percentage dips into the low single digits in a timed tournament, scoop. Make sure you give yourself time to win game 2 and
but
3.
I mean, that's just, look, I mean, for me, I wouldn't, like by default. I would only do that if I thought time was going to be a factor.
Sure.
That's my point, is that, like, I think, you know, like you look at the blue-white list, and it's going to take him 5 turns to kill Travis,
if there's
and
a
he's
control
going
deck
to
involved
die.
on either side of the matchup,
then I'm much more inclined,
That's fair.
But if I have 5%
See, in my matches,
there's
almost
aggro
always
match,
a control deck involved on at least one side of the matchup. So
the lens of Randy Buehler, there are islands aplenty.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's fair. So to the sideboards we go.
Indeed. So Ryan's blue-white. He's got more Cyclonic Rift. He's got Pithing Needle.
Needle seems
and
nice.
Nightfell Spectre are not for this matchup.
No.
Ratchet Bomb probably not for this matchup.
Probably not. His sweepers do the similar job.
2 Blind Obedience? I don't even remember. What does Blind Obedience do?
Creatures and artifacts enter the battlefield tapped, and it has Extort. I mean, if he expects to see a bunch of like Stormbreath dragons, though, if Ryan knows the list and knows that it's really a green deck,
Right.
then he probably won't bother with that. But if he...
Yeah, he did not see a Nykthos, but
He
he also
did not.
didn't see a mountain.
Usually once you see the Colossus, the Arbor Colossus...
Right,
you,
or
you
I was
know
going to
where
say
you're at.
the
He did see a
Voyaging
mountain, though. Yeah, and Voyaging Satyr. So he should know what the list is.
Okay.
There is a red-green beatdown deck that's around that you would definitely want Blind Obedience for. It's just not what Travis is playing. What's on
sounds right.
Travis's side here?
Destructive Revelry,
Absolutely.
Hydra,
Yeah, Revelry's in for sure. Hydra's in for sure.
Mortars, no.
No. Disciple, absolutely not. In Time to Feed, no. But
What are you taking out,
Mistcutter, Hydra, and Destructive Revelry are quite nice there, though. He's also got a Sylvan Primordial in the main, which is pretty sweet. What comes out
Couple
here?
of Rurikthars, which we mentioned last round.
Yeah, Nylea doesn't seem very good against him. It's hard to keep a lot of permanents on the battlefield against the blue-white deck. And giving your guys trample when they don't have blockers anyway isn't amazing. Let's see what else he has here. I mean, he's kind of married to his
Right.
12-pack of mana creatures, even though they become a bit of a liability at some
Against the
point.
Supreme Verdict deck,
Yeah.
yeah. The Supreme Verdict decks are not what you want to run into with this red-green.
Right.
I mean, the metagame feels like it's taken this sort of control unfriendly twist.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they could easily open up the world for, you know, lots of creatures, Nykthos fueled green explosions. But he got theirs not at this GP.
Right.
Like, the blue-white control deck is sort of solidly third in terms of what's running around here.
That's true. What do you think about Scavenging Ooze? We've seen it used to some effect against blue-white if they're going for the Elixir plan. But it's pretty clunky, and there's not that many creatures to really make it effective, you know, super big. The life gain isn't relevant in the matchup. Do those stay in?
He's got to cut something.
Yeah, because those Revelries are nice. You know, taking down Detention Spheres is a pretty big deal, and Hydras are, you know, they're great threats against Ryan.
They're good.
I mean, haste plus uncounterable and not being able to get him Azorius Charmed is, like, quite good. And Travis' deck can make some disgustingly big Hydras potentially as well.
They've still got a Supreme Verdict, though.
Correct. All right, Sylvan Caryatid kicks things off for Travis. And a couple of lands here for Ryan. We're going to get the camera switched over in just a second here. Rashad is just fixing something right quick. And there's a Burning Tree Emissary for Travis.
And Nykthos.
And there's the Nykthos.
The 2 mana from the Burning Tree will allow him to activate Nykthos if he wants to.
Currently makes
plus
3.
1. Yeah. 4.
So now he's got 4 mana and
Polukranos.
Polukranos. Boom. So turn 3 Polukranos
That's
here.
Syncopate.
Oh, dirty.
Yes.
Exiled Polukranos. Wow. What a beating.
Oh. And he goes ahead and uses Detention Sphere on Burning Tree Emissary because he wants to control the mana pips that are in play.
So is Travis
That's
pretty bummed
basically
about that?
Yes, it turns off Nykthos.
Yeah.
Nykthos is now a losing proposition instead of a gaining one.
But now his threats down the line get to live, right?
Guess. I mean, I like Ryan's play there.
Okay.
Especially early turns. You just want to stay alive.
Stay alive.
Like trade if you get the ability to trade 1 for 1, do it.
Yeah.
Like that's how you got to pilot the white deck through the early turns. Just the longer you can make the game go, you're not worried about using your cards optimally. You're just worried about getting the opportunities to trade 1 for 1.
All right.
Get more land drops. Get to your late game
aggressive
power.
play from Travis. He played the Mistcutter Hydra last turn for 4 and just beat down. Oftentimes you want to time it out where you play when your opponent's tapped out. You play threats that you want to make sure don't get countered, and then when they leave up mana for counters, you play Mistcutter Hydra and just say, haha.
What else did he have in his hand, though?
I don't know. So he must have had nothing, is what my assumption is. I don't know what Needle's naming.
Mystic, so.
Yeah, he just has nothing.
I know the cards in the deck. I just have to choose which ones I'm going to play.
I don't know what Needle's naming. It has to be Domri Raid or Garrick or something like that. Rashad, do you know what? Can we find out what Needle's naming?
I don't like it. Mainly because I think
There's a Polukranos off the top for Travis. Is that Rurikthar in his hand? What is that?
it's already
All right, it is on Garrick,
Yeah.
the big one.
That makes sense. That's definitely the scariest planeswalker Travis has access to.
Yeah. That card can just bury you.
Yep.
All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is this? It is Rurik Thar. All right. Big boy makes a landing, and this is a big deal. This is a huge deal. He just attacked for 4. That puts Ryan at 6. Oh, it says Ryan's at 7. He was at 10. Maybe they must have had the life total wrong? Because there's a huge difference between 6 and 7.
Yes. Whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, Rurik Thar deals 6 damage to that player.
Which he just did.
Supreme Verdict.
And that would leave Ryan at 1, though.
Wow.
All right, so Ryan's at 1. Wow, this is
The
about as
last
close
point
as
is
they
the
get.
only one that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, untapped. Yeah, he definitely takes the 2 there. I think I would have done 2 Hallowed Fountains.
Can you play a Nylamps?
That way he can't have an untapped land.
Uh-huh.
Am I dead to the second Mistcutter? I don't know. Go.
All right, pass the turn. Mistcutter Hydra is good for the
Yeah.
win.
Next Hydra's
He doesn't
lethal.
have it, though. He's got a Pelucranos here that he's going to cast.
Sure.
Also lethal.
If he gets to attack.
Right. Seems unlikely. Though not impossible.
All right. I mean, it's not like Ryan's had a ton of card advantage, right? He's been trading,
That's right.
trying to get to the late game. All right, you're up to 7. 7 mana.
Awkwardly, if he has Sphinx's Revelation.
Yeah, it's not good enough.
Not good
Pelucranos
enough.
hits for 5.
Right,
Well,
now
Jace.
he can Jace to
Be at
counteract
1.
that. Wow,
Oh,
here we
there's
go,
Elspeth.
though.
All right.
Is he get a minus or plus? He's going to minus,
Yeah,
so get
that
rid
would
of
Well,
Pelucranos.
the monstrous ability just kills him, right?
Uh-huh. And draw some more cards. Is there a Revelation in there? No, there's 2 lands and a second Elspeth.
All right, 2 land. Wow.
He took the Elspeth.
Takes the Elspeth.
That's
I guess that gives him
interesting.
the ability to play it and kill another.
That does,
fatty.
or just to make 6 tokens next turn. Plus, plus. Yeah, we haven't even seen a divination yet from Ryan, right? He's just has not gotten ahead on cards through raw card draw. There's his Xenagos.
I mean, he picked up a couple cards on the Supreme Verdict.
Right. He's done it. He's gotten
Jaced
card advantage other
twice,
ways.
I think.
All right, so Xenagos hits the battlefield.
He's going to make a Satyr.
Yeah, it doesn't make any mana, so.
Yeah.
So there's a Satyr, which is not going to keep up with.
No, Elspeth. Oh, and there's
Elspeth.
the Sphinx's Revelation.
Oh, and the
Rev for
Revelation.
5.
Wow. So that gives Ryan Benrose a cushion plus a full grip. What a huge swing. Down to 1.
It's not really a Rurik Thar level-sized cushion, but
Good point.
I guess there's only one of those in there. Other Rurik
He
Thar
had
dies
2.
to Elspeth, right?
Yeah,
There's 2 in the list.
Yeah, 2 in the
One
list.
left. I guess Rurik Thar dies to Elspeth.
It does die to Elspeth.
Ratchet Bomb did
It
come in.
also seems unlikely that it resolves.
Sure. There's not that much permission in Travis's list.
All right, fair.
He may have sideboarded out Dissolve, too. It's not great in this matchup. 3 Dissolve, 2 Syncopate is his counter package main.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, relatively few.
On behalf of control players everywhere, though, if you guys want to just assume we always have counters, even when we're playing lists with like 3 total, I'm fine with that.
Randy Buehler endorses this idea. All right, and there's Garrick.
But Pithing Needle is shutting it off.
That's right.
Oh, Travis didn't know?
He
Or
forgot.
forgot?
He forgot. Ryan was quick to remind him.
Yeah.
And there's Cyclonic Rift.
Yeah,
And
there's
he's going to show him. And there's the other Rurik Thar, too.
Wow. Blue-white control. It's a good deck. I mean, there's a lot of unfriendly stuff going on.
Wow,
out
that's
there.
brutal.
Cutter Hydras and
Yeah?
Rurik Thars. There's all kinds of stuff going on. But it just keeps winning.
It does.
Well, it keeps winning Swiss rounds anyway. We were talking about this yesterday. Did you find a big event that it's won?
No.
No, it hasn't really won Premier
No.
level events.
Make sure
The
you
Worlds win is the only sort of win.
guys. Here's a format where Sphinx's Revelation hasn't won anything. Legacy, February 15th
Fair.
through 16th, Grand Prix Paris. We have our European coverage team streaming that from twitch.tv/magic. You can also find all the links and the text coverage and stuff as well on dailymtg.com.
It's an interestingly placed Grand Prix because it's 1 week before the Pro Tour. Mm-hmm. Right, so you've got, a lot of the American pros will be traveling over to Europe that weekend. I don't know how many of them are actually going to go to Paris, though.
Yeah.
Like, Legacy's not a format they tend to play a ton of.
Right.
It's not modern. It's a little bit distracting from Pro Tour prep.
Right.
So, I think it's going to be kind of the European Legacy crowd.
Yeah, which is a healthy and it's an ingrained society over there. It's funny when you watch a European GPs for Legacy, the decks you see are much different than the ones you see on the North American Legacy GPs. It's a pretty big difference in metagame from there to here. It's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I think certainly a lot of the American pros are just headed straight to Spain. They're not going to make the side trip to Paris.
They're going to be camped
out. The French
out.
pros will probably be there. Oh, here's a nice match. Bensec, often known as TBS, or the Bensec. 10-1 so far this weekend, running mono blue devotion deck list that Owen Turnwald recommended to him, actually.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, Owen said, you know what? If you have the right mono blue list and you play it well, you're favored against mono black. Owen stuck to his black guns, but
he's still sticking with it. All right,
yeah.
And speaking of power here, I mean, he just played a Master of Waves, and he needs a calculator to figure out how many sea ponies he's getting here. I think it's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah.
Alexander Hayne on the other side, obviously trying to keep the Grand Prix title in his home country of Canada, though he's from the other side of the country.
Interesting, though.
Jason and Archangel.
Yeah, he's got a nice board of his own, but
those Archangels have crept into a lot of blue-white sideboards lately.
And I think the Detention Sphere is going to take down Mr. Master of Waves and all of his little friends.
Ben did not seem surprised by that. Looks like Alex is up a game.
He is. So this is a sideboarded game. Alexander has brought this Archangel of Thune out of the sideboard. And it's just playing defense right now. And he's going to pass the turn back to Bensec. Both of these players at 9-1. Alex is number 18 on the top 25 pro rankings.
Yeah, it's another blue-white control list.
Yep.
Pretty similar to the one we just saw win our other feature match. Haynes has not strayed as far from the list Huey finished second with, which is basically Cunio's list.
So
no
Thasses here?
Well, no Thasses. He does have the 3 syncopates, though. That's something a lot of these decks have started to play. It's like they figured out everybody seems to be tapping out every turn. If that's true, syncopate's a good card. Yeah, 4 dissolve, 3 syncopates, his permission suite. No divinations? Is that true? There are no divinations in his list.
Okay.
Just the revs for guard advantage.
All right, Alex is plus Jace, and he's going to battle with Archangel Thune here. He's also going to make his Mutavault active.
Well, he wants the +1/+1 counter.
He wants to get the counter on it. He's not attacking with it, though. He just wants to be able to leave it back to block the Frostburn weird. But Alex is going to gain a bunch of life off of that.
Oh, that's a Biden for Ben. That's what's going on.
Yeah, he has a Biden, but I think the Biden's going away here. No, actually, Alex is going to say, look, I'm going to let you keep the Biden, and I'm going to manage your creatures and make the Biden bad.
Right,
Also,
so he plussed his Jace, which will shut down the Judge's Familiar.
That's right.
He's got the 3/3 Mutavault, which worst-case scenario trades with a Frostburn weird.
That's right. And Bensec is content to just ride his Biden, making the Archangel of Thune attack,
like
trying to get ahead on cards.
Looks like he top-decked Thassa.
Okay.
But runs it into a dissolve.
Ben knew that was coming, too. He kind of held it there like, all right. How you
May I have a Thassa, please, sir? No. It does mean that the coast is clear for a Frostburn weird attack, though?
Passes a turn back.
Oh, Ben has left up enough mana to make the Biden force an Archangel attack.
Yeah, again, which he did last turn, too.
Is that better than hitting with Frostburn weird? I would have gotten it.
You mean trading Mutavault for Frostburn?
No, the Mutavault got tapped for the dissolve. That's the point.
Ah.
He tapped the Mutavault to cast the dissolve. Like initially there was no Frostburn weird attack, but once he baited a dissolve, there was.
And it looks like Alexander's just attacking on his own here. He's like, hey, I'll send him in.
Yeah, Ben may have missed the fact that the Mutavault got tapped for dissolve.
I mean, obviously Alex is going to be in a good position to race from here, but
Right. Yeah, it's not even clear Biden
Biden
needs to encourage the Archangel.
Right.
I think it did last turn, but
all right. Now, what do you think about the post-combat Elspeth here? I mean, those would all have +1/+1 counters on them if he had played it pre-combat, right?
true.
I kind of like the idea of an army, though. It looks like it
Not a
didn't
lot
matter
matters
this
there.
time. Yep. All right, so Alexander Hayne picks up the victory here and improves to 10-1. And
blue-white control.
you know, he has had a lot of success in the last year at the Grand Prix stage, and he is putting himself in a position here to continue that success.
Yeah, 10-1's he's got to be feeling pretty good. 2-0 on the day. Comes in at X1, rattles off a couple of wins. Now he's starting to really think about it.
He beats
TBS not happy to
Benzek.
pick up his second loss. He's now back against the wall for top 8, and we had what, 1,050-ish people, less than 1,200.
1040 was what I was told. Yep.
So that means there's 4 Pro Tour invites. You got to get to 1,200 to get the 8 PT invites.
That's right.
And then I guess some of the GPs lately have actually had the pass down. Like if you go X2 and miss top 8, you get a PT invite anyway.
That's right. Yep.
Here, future match scoreboard. Awesome. We saw Hayne is now up 2-0 on Bensek. We saw Benrose win. Ifro and Paul Reitzel back against the wall match. Both players had 2 losses. So it looks like it's Ifro who stays in top 8 contention.
Yep.
And do we have any chance of getting Game 3 of Stern Calcano? Awesome. We're going to get Game 3 between John Stern and Christian Calcano.
Grand Prix grinder Christian Calcano.
Yeah, it
He's
wouldn't be a
uttered
Grand
all
Prix
of these
without him.
things. Yeah, it's true. You love seeing his face. Super nice guy. And John Stern, local to the country, not local to the area, but representing Canada here, and I'm sure everybody rooting for Canada will be on his side.
3 of the biggest Canadian stars sitting on X1 last night.
That's right.
Stern,
Alexander
Hayne,
Hayne.
and KYT.
Your overall records. About 9-1.
All right.
I think KYT would be pretty happy to hear you say that, by the way.
I mean, Christian Calcano is playing Blue Devotion. John Stern is playing Black Devotion.
All right.
Perhaps you've seen this matchup before.
Yeah, we know this fight.
We haven't seen it on camera much this weekend.
No, we
exactly
haven't.
this way.
We've seen different mirrors, but not this type of thing. And it looks like,
Game 3, we were told.
yeah, it looks like John Stern started things off with Thoughtseize into Farika's Cure, which killed a Cloudfin Raptor and took away, is that a rapid hybridization? What is that? Maybe a Thassa. I can't quite see what the card that he took with Thoughtseize is, but something sweet.
Yes, Gordon.
And let's see if Christian can start to rebuild his board.
See, this list is 9 4s and 18 a 2 and a 1.
This is John Stern's?
Yeah, Stern's version. I just like 10 4s and 18 and a 2 feels better to me. 1 Whip of Erebos, 3 Devour Flesh is the hedge. The I'm not sure what my best cards are hedge.
Yep. I mean, you can, the one of Whip makes sense, right? Like, you don't want the second one ever.
I'm not
first
saying
one's
second
quite
whip.
good.
I'm just saying Owen has given up on the 1 whip.
Yeah.
He'd rather just be consistent than have, sometimes you get a whip game and it works out, and sometimes you draw a whip and it's terrible.
Yeah. All right, so Pack Rat. So 2/2 drops here. John Stern made a Pack Rat. Christian Calcano made a Frostburn Weird. I'd rather be on the Pack Rat side of things.
Definitely.
Myself. He's going to attack with the Weird, pump it once, and then follow up with the Cloudfin Raptor. So this is a Return to Ravnica block draft for Christian Calcano.
And his opponent opened a Pack
and
Rat?
his opponent opened a Pack Rat.
Yeah.
Which is not where you want to be. John's thinking about what he wants to do. He's currently ranked 25th on the top 25 pro rankings. Calcano was on there for a while too. Both of these players are Grand Prix champions. John Stern won Atlantic City last year.
Is that with the Boggle deck? Is that modern and he ran Boggles, or am I misremembering?
No, it was standard,
Okay,
and he ran hexproof.
Oh, he won. Sure, he won that
in standard.
In standard, not modern.
Yeah. So you were close.
I remember the deck. I just misremembered the format, basically.
All right, so Thoughtseize to start things, though, reveals double Thassa Master of Waves, and John's going to take the Master Waves away. No more Lanzo for Christian Calcano. And an attack from the Pack Rat, and even make a copy of it by discarding a Hero's Downfall. So John Stern firmly on the Pack Rat plan here. Calcano needs to win this game to stay X-1. These players are in Game 3 right now, here in round 11 in foggy Vancouver, British Columbia. And Calcano way behind at this point. He's got a lot of work to do here. Mono blue deck, much better at the get ahead, stay ahead type plan than the come from behind, though it does have some tools.
Yeah, he stumbled on land, but now finally has the third land.
That's right. That Thassa not active yet. And he's going to need to find something off the top of his deck soon to get Thassa as a 5/5 indestructible to start fighting the rats or putting up a race or doing something here. Thankfully for him, Thassa's going to help him do that with its scry ability on upkeep. Before that, though, rat attack. No blocks. Make a rat, discard a demon, and you take 6. And he's going to activate that Mutavault down there, so you take 8. Drops Calcano down to 10, and this is a huge scry and draw step sequence here for Calcano. If he can get Thassa active, he can at least potentially blunt the assault for another turn here. It just feels like he's so far behind, though.
Thassa's not good enough. He needs a Master of Waves, I think.
Yeah. Well,
and even there,
he can't do that because he only has 3 lands. His card in hand is a second Thassa.
Oh, wow. I didn't know what was in his hand.
Yeah, so we saw that from Thoughtseize earlier. John knows his hand as well. And Calcano is tanked out pretty hard on this, but I think you might be right here, Randy. He needs a card he can't realistically play. See what he finds, though. Okay, a Frostburn Weird. Can he get an Evolve?
So Thassa does turn on.
So Thassa's live. Precariously so.
Sure. I mean, you leave Thassa on defense. She can fight one of the rats.
Right.
But I mean, they're probably 5/5 rats.
Right. And he has to just
and the other 2
chump block 2 of
are
them.
lethal.
Right.
So he's chump blocking at least one of them.
One of them, right.
And I think Christian sees that as a losing fight. It's like kill 1, chump 1, die the following turn. So he looks like he's lining up an attack. It's like if I'm in chump block mode anyway, I may as well see if I can race.
Right.
I mean, this is 7. He's threatening next turn if he can evolve Cloudfin Raptor again. This might be 8.
This is 6. Just 1 counter on the Raptor.
Oh, 1 counter, yeah.
Yeah. John took it. This also, of course, leaves any removal spell as potentially lethal, though that was pretty much the case anyway, because any removal spell removes 2 blockers from Calcano's side of the board. And there's that removal spell now.
Sure.
Hero's Downfall. Attacks with all of them, and that's going to be the game. So John Stern.
Second Mutavault meant that you could get 2 Mutavaults to turn them into 5/5 rats, even
right.
without making a rat. So 2 of them is 10. That's lethal.
Yeah, poor draw there from Christian, and also, you know, the nudge of a Thoughtseize will turn a poor draw into a miserable draw pretty quickly. So Calcano, though, still X-2, still live for top 8. Needs to piece together some victories down the stretch here. John Stern looking to be in good position. X-1. Got to keep this this ship on the right track, and he can put himself in